Hello everyone, this is Rita with Restyled Renewed. I just wanted to come on and show you real quick. I am glazing today. So I've done other videos on glazing if you want to go look for them. They'll be more detailed. But this is that set that I've been talking about, dining room set with the retro chairs. And this is actually plastic. It's not solid wood. Like I've mentioned, lots of the furniture back then was plastic. So what I'm doing though, if you can see the difference between this top part here and this bottom part down here, this it's been distressed, but I haven't glazed it yet. So you can see it's very bright. The original paint that I put on here is a very bright turquoisey color, and this is the look I'm going for. This part here has been glazed. So that's what I'm going to do up here, and I just want to show you on camera how I do that. So I just use old t-shirts I cut up. When you're doing small areas like this, I find the sleeves of the t-shirt are actually the perfect size for me. And I recommend, if you don't want to get glaze all over your hands, you're going to want to wear gloves. But I'm not wearing gloves. Okay, so the glaze I'm using, this is the glaze I'm using, and I like this glaze. I think it's a really good glaze. You can get this at Home Depot, so it's not hard to find. Another reason why I like to recommend it. And it's their brown Java. So I'm just going to start glazing. And when you glaze, let's see if I can bring it a little closer. When you glaze, you want to, you don't want to work in huge sections. And typically when I glaze, I have a dry cloth on hand and a wet cloth, a damp cloth. Because the glaze, it's a type of stain, so it's going to it really does go into the paint. So you want to be able to wipe off, you want to be able to move around your glaze. So I recommend having a damp cloth and a dry cloth. And normally I do both when I'm working on big surfaces, but because this surface is so small, I'm just going to use my dry cloth because I actually want quite a bit of glaze on here. So you can see here, you can really see the glaze, which is what I'm going for. Now when you glaze, you have to put something in between the paint and your glaze. So you need to put on an acrylic sealer. Because if you don't, the glaze is going to turn your paint this color, brown. So once you're done your painting, put on an acrylic sealer, a water-based sealer. Oftentimes I will use the General Finishes High Performance Top Coat in satin. I find the one that is satin is a good one for putting in between the paint and the glaze, because you want the glaze you want to be able to move your glaze around, and the satin one I find is a good one to use so that you can move the glaze. Because if you don't put on a sealer, it's going to stain your paint dark brown. And you can get all sorts of glazes. Lots of companies make glazes. So, you've got lots of options. So now I'm just going to start wiping. Now this is a little tricky because, well, not tricky, but there's lots of crevices and deep pockets here, so... But I want to actually keep all that. I want all the glaze to stay in those areas, so I'm not going to wipe all of this off. I'm just going to wipe some of it off because the look I'm going for is I want the glaze to actually stay in those deep areas. And so glaze is like wax. You do have to seal it though. You can kind of achieve the same look with a dark wax. And the good thing about that is the wax is also your sealer. So this, I'm getting the aged look with glaze. Glaze is not a sealer. So on top of this, I'm going to come through and have to seal this. So there we go. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And you can see here, let me get the camera a bit closer. You can see the way I did this one was I brought the brush down. Well, I did all of it, and then my rag, when it came time to wipe this off, I just went like this. So that drags the glaze down, which is what I wanted. So I wanted it to kind of look like it was being dragged down, and that's why I did it that way. So you can see there's quite a bit of glaze left, and that's what I want. I want it to look like it's, you know, really aged and kind of that boho aged, kind of, I don't want to use the word dirty, but it kind of is like that. Okay, let me see if I can get the top here. Going to do the very top, and then I am done these chairs. It's taken me a long time to get this done because I'm doing so many projects at one time. Now the sealer I'm going to use on this is Modern Masters. Let's see if it's in this room. I don't think it's in here. I'm going to seal this with Modern Masters. It's called Dead Flat Varnish, and it's a good sealer. I use it often, so that's what I'm putting on this to seal the paint and the glaze. Let me get right in here. So there, isn't that amazing? Glazing is just amazing, but it is tricky. You need to practice it. And like I said, I would have a dry cloth on hand and a damp cloth. The damp cloth will remove, you know, a lot of the glaze if you got too much glaze on, and then go over it with a dry cloth. So let me just pick up the camera and I'll show you the chairs behind here. So these are the chairs. You can see the glazing is a little different on all the chairs, which is that's the look I'm going for. You know, this is art. This is not a factory made pieces, so everything is a little bit different. So anyways, I just wanted to show you glazing, and that's it. And now I'm going to seal everything, and the chairs will be all finished finally. So I just have to buy new material for the cushions, and hopefully this week I will post a photo of the finished project. All right, thank you.